This is St. Maarten, and this is St. Maarten post-Hurricane Irma, Category 5 hurricane. Just wreaked havoc on the island. Even more so on the French side. It's pretty bad on the French side. One of the cute little towns there on the North Shore on the French side, Grand Case. Actually, it's more on the west. Cute little town, little boutiques and stuff. And we went out there on Saturday, and it's just been obliterated. Not meaning that everything's dropped to the ground, but buildings are up. You can see where they used to have roofs because you have rebars sticking up out of the supports where the roofs have been blown off. And a lot of places are boarded up as they're still continuing to rebuild. There's a motorcycle on behind me is trying to pass me to the left, which of course, typical European driving. Motorcycles drive in the center of the road. Guy behind me is going to pass, but then stop because the road narrowed out a little bit. You can probably see him behind us right now. He's trying to veer to the left. Looks like he's going to take it. There he goes. That takes a while to get used to. And everybody wears helmets out here, so it's not like the big dummies in the States where they don't wear helmets. Everybody wears helmets. This is a rebuilt Audi Ford dealership. See, Mary, you can see if you can get a trip out here to do some research on their Ford sales. Lots of Rangers out here in this Carrefour market, so I'll be stopping there on the way back. I gotta start picking up the supplies to take home. The quest is still on for Cuban coffee. There's a lot of Dominican coffee out here. Dominican, Puerto Rican, and French. It's not like Aruba where it's all Cuban coffee. And this is coming up on the border here. So this is the roundabout. It's the causeway to across Simpson Bay. So if I were to go left, that's the Simpson Bay Causeway. Takes us over to the airport. But this is the border. The border of Dutch St. Maarten and French. It's an open border. First time we came out here, we crossed the border over by Oyster Bay, and we got pulled over by the French military. They checked our passports, they checked the paperwork for the car, they gave us the run through, and it was kind of an interesting moment because those guys had all full out body gear on, rifles and all, but the quote collective of St. Maarten, it's an open border, so you go basically from the Kingdom of the Netherlands to France without having to go through any type of passport control. So this is the French side of the island, leading into Marigot. And traffic will get a little tighter up here. I start seeing the signage in French. There. Where I'm going now, I'm going to La Casa del Habana to pick up some cigars. Cubans, of course. But here you can see where the roofs have been blown off. It's just rebar sticking up as their rebuilding continues. As I said before, the French side got it more than the Dutch side. The Dutch side got more of the surf. The tidal waters, water damage. So we've seen where there was one big hotel next to DV. The hotel is no longer there. They had to knock it down because the supports were worn out by the tide. And the French side here, they got more of the wind, the backlash of the hurricane. radio out here is flavorful. So it's a mix of English, the Creole language, Papiamento, some Spanish. Depending on the station, you find one of the government stations, it might have messaging in both Dutch and English and Papiamento, but mostly Dutch and English. You'll see how the license plates have changed. So now you've got the license plates that say the Collective du St. Maarten.